Hey students, so you're ready to start this first week of the course, and what you can do is after you have finished the About This Course section, you can actually click on this down arrow and close it. You can reopen it at any time when you need that material again, but for now, just to keep your course tidy, it's helpful to close that and move on. So for week one, the first thing that you are going to do is come to your assignments at a glance, which is going to have your checklist for the week of everything that you need to get done. So make sure you go through that and double check it, especially before the due date, to make sure that you got everything turned in. So for this week, once you've done that, the slideshow and teaching material is going to be listed here. And just because I'm videoing it, it's taking a little more time to load. But this slideshow is what it's all like the notes and the overview that I have created of the chapter. I highlight top level concepts, and sometimes I even add like video links of like helpful other things. So I would pay attention to highlighted things, bolded items, so that you know what will be important for the test. So once you're done with that, well, there's a couple chapters usually listed for each week. So make sure you've gone over the slideshows, and that's really like me taking notes for you and listing it there to make it easy and accessible for you. I also, in addition to the slideshow types of notes, I actually have video overviews where I have lectured on each of those slideshows to give you an overview of the chapter and explain the most difficult concepts. So you can watch this or listen to it for added help and just to learn the material another way. So here you can see like the different study material listed, and then you can see that the assignment for the week is the ecological footprint calculator. It will give you some background information along with a little video, and then I give you step by step what you are going to do. And for this particular assignment, the first thing you're going to do is calculate your ecological footprint. When you come here, you will click on the computer, and it's going to ask you some things like if you want in English, and it's going to ask you, you're going to click here, some different lifestyle choices that you make, like how often do you eat animal-based products, and you can toggle this from never to like often, where it says a few times a week, to very often, like every single day. And then you can come here to actually get a little more detail on that. Like for me, lamb would be like never, pork is just like sometimes, poultry is like a little more often, but I'm not actually a fish eater, so that's never. And you can go through and save that information and then move to the side arrow to go to the next question, where it asks you other questions like processed food, etc. So I'm going to click through these really fast and just accept the default the whole way. But you should go in and really like look a little bit deeper. One of the questions it asks is the size of your home. You can look that up like on websites like Zillow, in case you don't know. The material that your house is constructed with, most people have a wood frame. So sometimes that's confusing to people. Also, which housing type best describes your home. If you're in a standard home, that's called a freestanding a freestanding house with running water, or you might be in an apartment or like a duplex. So those are common ones to answer there. And you can move through these questions, and it's going to end up giving you, and I'm just selecting the default just for time to speed it up and show you how to do this. So from there, it will say, do you want to join our newsletter or skip and view your results? Most people will just skip and review the results. And it'll say, hey, if everybody lived like you, I'm going to close that button. If everybody lived like you, your Earth overshoot day, like if everybody on this planet started living like you, we would run out of all resources on May 10th, which means if everyone lived like you, we would actually need 2.8 Earths to sustain people over time. Now, of course, in America, we tend to have lots of resources, so we are using a lot of those resources, whereas, like, there's other people in some developing countries that they are not using very many resources at all, like barely any, and they are kind of balancing us out so that we're not totally out of resources by May 10th. But it's kind of just bringing some awareness to you of how many resources you are using from the earth versus what the earth can actually support. So once you have done that, and it'll give you some details about your report right here. So it gives you, just a little more information. You are going to come back to the assignment, and you're going, once you get that information, you're just going to write a short 1-page paper. You don't need to have citations or anything like that. You're just going to use basic 12-point font, 1.5 line spacing, which is usually the default, 1 page. And you are going to address some of the topics here. So you're going to write what your score was. And you can maybe even like add a little screenshot of what your score was. You're going to address whether or not that accurately depicts the amount of stuff that you use, or if you think that's maybe an unfair assessment of how much stuff you use. You can put anything you learned about yourself from the exercise, or like anything that surprised you, or anything you would maybe feel like you could change or should change. Any of those things are fine, and it should be one page total of the paper. So I know up here I say 1 to 2 because some people maybe go a little bit longer, but just one full page is good with me for how long that should be. And you will submit that here to the ecological footprint calculator. So a little summary of what you learned. You're also going to have the chapter 1 quiz and the chapter 2 quiz. Don't forget to check out the videos to study for those. And then you are going to take the chapter 1 and 2 tests. This assignment here, the sustainability challenge goal, this is going to be an ongoing assignment that we're going to do all semester long. So I have a PDF here, and it's very, very basic. And you can put it on a Google like Drive, or put it or on a Google Doc. And basically what it is it's a form where throughout the term, I'm actually going to close it because it's taking a while to load there. Throughout the term, you are going to try to make some kind of positive impact or change in your life that would maybe be better for the environment. So students, these are just some examples of what students have done in the past. They try to maybe use less plastic bags when they go shopping. Some students are like, hey, I'm going to try to plant a tomato here, plant for the spring. Some people try to start eating healthier, like I'm going to have more fruits and vegetables and cut back on something that's less healthy. Some students say, hey, I'm going to donate some of my old clothes and things to a thrift store. Some people try to eat less fast food or not have as much plastic waste, like stop using straws or plastic bottles, taking shorter showers. All of those types of things. Some people like literally never get outside, and they're like, hey, I'm going to start hiking, walking. I think it's healthier for me to be outside, so they try to go for that. All of those things are fine. A few times a week, you are going to fill out the log, and I'm going to bring it up here. This is what it looks like. It's very, very simple. You just take the log, write the date. Up here, you'll have your goal. I should say that. You put your goal up here. You're going to write whatever progress you made, and then kind of just give your review. So if your goal was taking shorter showers, and you write the date here and the progress, like this week, 2 of my showers were long, but 5 I tried to shorten. And then like you can give yourself a review, like I did pretty good, and I don't even care if you do it in stars, that's fine. Did pretty good, but I'll try harder next week. You could give yourself like 4 stars, or give yourself a little written, like how I'm going to do better. If you end up doing finding that a certain goal isn't working for you, it is totally fine to change that goal. Or if you just like to change, like, hey, this week I donated clothes, this week I paid more attention to my showers, and I made like a playlist, a music playlist, and tried to remember after 2 or 3 songs, I needed to end my shower, or whatever you decide to do. Whatever you decide to do, it's okay if you switch, and it's also okay if you have a bad week. I've never taken off points if a student, has a few bad weeks in there. I have taken off points if they didn't try at all, or if they just persistently never worked on their goal all term. But otherwise, if you're generally doing it, it's okay to even say like, I had a few bad weeks in here, as you improve. So here is that goal. You will turn this in at the end of the semester. So there is a Dropbox for it, but it doesn't get turned in until the end of the term. So this particular week, one more time, you're going to look over the assignments at a glance as your checklist. You have the teaching material in the slideshow. You have the video overviews to teach you. You'll do the ecological footprint calculator and write your paper. You have 2 quizzes and the test, and the sustainability goal is going to happen the whole rest of the term. So that is the first week of this condensed class. Please reach out if you have any questions.